In this segment, we're going to be turning the system on. First thing you need to do, make sure the emergency stop switch is on. Twist it to the direction of the arrow, let go, and pops out. Do not pull it out, that will break the switch and we will not cover that under warranty. Next step, go over to the back side. There's a switch here, flip it to on. You will hear the machine start up. The lights will flash on the camera head, that indicates it's hooked up correctly. Next step is watch your monitor. Get the XPX symbol, indicates it's coming up to speed. You get a blue screen which tells me that I'm currently not selected for the system here, so I need to actually go in and change that. So I got to go to setup and device, and I need to go to reel, and I need to resize it, and I need to go to drum, it's 350. There you go. And we need to set the head by depressing the two buttons. That sets the camera head to the appropriate position. And at this time you can control the system by the membrane, or by the keyboard, or by your pin and controller. We'll do one step at a time. Membrane, you have your camera controls over here. You have your tracker controls. If we want to put it in drive, go to the drive menu, hit F5. That puts the system into drive. The first thing that pops up, you're in your auto mode. There's the manual mode. If you like to be, you can just depress the F3, lines up with the manual. And in manual mode, we could go either forward or reverse. You'll get a cable warning because it's telling you the cable is not reeling back into the tracker because in manual. Every time you have to hit the stop button for that purpose. Now if you want to use the keyboard, Shift F2 shows all the control letters that controls the tracker from the keyboard. There's all your controls. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the essentials is arrow up, arrow down is your driving the tractor, hit space bar to stop it, reverse, stop it, steer right, stop it, steer left, stop it. So that's the keyboard. The pin and controller is the best way to operate the system. You see the little red light, you hold the button down until it illuminates into the green. It tells you when your pin and controller is activated. And by the way, before you get to this pin and controller by using it, make sure you hit your recording button and at the same time, because you cannot access recording once you, well, I guess it does. Now it's recording. My mistake. Now, with the pin and controller, we can toggle between auto, manual, and so forth. So I'll just leave it in manual because I don't want to take the cable off onto the floor here. So if you want to go forward, press down on the little nipple, that stops it, or hit the red switch. Reverse, get the green light, stop. When I turn left, hit the red button, stop. Right, stop. So that is your tractor controls. Camera controls are all down here. It's not really needed to use the joystick to use. We use the buttons. So we rotate hold the button down, stop, and it rotates back. If you want it to return to center, there's a little button called center, C-E-N. That centers your head back to center. Same with the pan right, pan left, back. Also you have your iris control. Put it in auto. That will compensate for the light you're using in the pipe, so it doesn't get too bright or too dull. Lights, with a little big star, little star. Here's your lights. Turn them off, dim them down, so forth and so forth. So that primarily takes care of the drive of the tractor and the operation of the camera. Also, there's a zoom function. As you're zooming, it will actually zoom in. Now, see this mimic on the screen? If that is in the way, you go up to the button that says mimic. Turn off your mimic, and it's a clean page. The mimic is good for letting you know your turning and your tractor speed. If I'm going forward, you'll see the speed bar. The same with the reverse speed bar. If you're turning left, this will illuminate a little guide pin. Also, there's inclination. If you go into a pipe that shows you the grade of the pipe, as well by number or by mimic wise. That basically concludes the operations of the tractor. Once you insert it into the hole or your pipe, make sure you use appropriate shoes and rollers and guides, which is actually an option, because if you don't, you will tear up your cable. First 10 feet is spring loaded. Be cautious not to lower the camera with the cable. Lower it with lifting devices off the tractor with the rope. This spring will stretch on you, so don't, again, be very cautious not to lift it with the cable. And again, if you're into the manhole, make sure you use rollers at every turn into the manhole. Top manhole roller, bottom manhole roller, or a tiger tail. Either way, protect that cable. If you tear it up, we're not responsible for being pulled up. And that probably concludes what we have here.